But hold on one second. We got Radical Latino on the panel.
Yo,
What up? What up? What up?
What up, Brad?
What's going on, guys? Thank you.
What's
for
up, Latino? How's it going?
What's going on, bro? Listen,
Chilling.
I want to start off by saying is I love the fact that we can't have a good and evil conversation without mentioning Hitler. It's such a beautiful thing, because once you mention that name, the whole conversation gets derailed into some other stuff. So I just wanted to say that, you know what I mean?
I had to bring up Ultimate Evil. I know it's bad on me. Poor form, first time, I get it, yeah.
No, now, let's not do that. No. I
blame Greg. Let's just blame Greg.
Yeah.
Blame Greg, man. Blame Greg for
what I would say is some people, and this is a very small sector, some people with hoods and certain tattoos will consider Hitler's story to be tragic.
Yeah, it's a tragic hero. Yeah.
That's a good point. No, you're right. That's a good point. And that's what we were talking about, subjective objective,
Yeah. And I really like that angle also, subjective because it takes an individual to see it from their point of view and understand why they're seeing it that way. So I got that. Now, what I will say about the whole Marvel movies going into this woke space, you know what I mean? I don't want it to feel forced. It feels like it's going to go into the whole pandering type of thing. It's like, for example, in the Heights, there was a lot of liberalism type of talking points that felt extremely forcing and didn't feel organic, where you like, it felt cringy. With Killmonger on Black Panther, it didn't feel forced. It felt organic. It felt like he was a black militant person who actually decided to do had a plan and everything, drawn out, and wanted to do what he needed to do in order to achieve his goal. Again.
Yeah, because I gotta ask. Yeah, I gotta ask. Here's the thing, right? To basically set the field here so that we can have an even distribution of this thing. All right. So we had when Killmonger was at the throne room and he was shackled as prisoner after bringing a Claw as his entry point back into Wakanda, and he said when T'Challa said that's not my problem. When he mentioned, all these people dying around you all this time and you guys stay hidden, he's like, that's not my problem. I'm not king of all people. I'm king of Wakanda.
Yeah.
And Killmonger says, well, life started on this very continent, so aren't all people your people? That's a gem. Mm-hmm. Now, they chose to put it in the mouth of a villain, but that's a gem. They do that a lot with, they put things worth considering and they put in the mouth of villains. I don't know why they keep doing that nowadays with the screenwriting, but another one was, what was the other gem? When he said that he wants to get he's like, you guys are sitting on all this vibranium with all these ships and all these exploding warhead spears. You could free all our people from across the globe, but you're sitting on here, having your little meetings and basically stroking yourselves off. Yeah. That's another gem, but they put it in the mouth of the villain.
Yeah, but I got to time out. Out here. You just said before Radical Latino, and I agree with you, some people with certain tattoos and hoods would say Hitler's story is a tragedy. Mm-hmm. Then y'all said that we have Killmonger making a plan to do what he wants to do, what his agenda is. He's gotta figure it out and get it done. Mm-hmm. Those same people who empathize with the plan that Hitler had, mm-hmm. see his story as tragic. So what you're telling me is that Killmonger had a plan that he was trying to carry out, and his failure is seen as a tragedy. But I don't empathize with that plan. See, I don't understand when he says you could free all our people. Free them from what? You want to go blow up Wall Street and think that that's going to free people? You think that's going to free the people in the Bronx or in Brooklyn? What about all the black people on Wall Street you're going to kill? Let's go. Let's be real. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's very poetic. It's incredibly hyperbolic to say that, oh, you've been sitting on all this vibranium. You could liberate us. Liberate you from what? That's my point. Your plan is to go around and kill everybody in the world?
Hold on,
bro. Actually, I'm not trying to go into no critical race theory BS right now. But when we really look at what race has going on and the systematic oppressions of certain amounts of people, it tells me why you will look at it like that and say, what do you mean? When I hear something like that, I understand exactly what he means. And when he says, free them from, and you're saying from what? Well, there's plenty of evidence when we look at systematic abuses of government officials, such as the police, redlining.
Redlining is a fucking fucked up thing. Absolutely.
Since you agreed, then you already know what.
So my question is, what would he do to free them? Time out. No. I got this. Back off.
Was a terrorist.
What's he going to do?
A perfect example of this type of character, where he's a terrorist and he's going to have Stan Lee wrote that the villain doesn't believe he's a villain. The villain is a hero in his own mind. And
everyone's a hero in their own story.
Right. So Magneto wants to liberate the mutant people and bring them to prosperity. Him and Xavier, they're supposed to have the same goal, but they had different means. Xavier wanted peaceful coexistence, and Magneto said, no, we're the only way we're ever going to be peaceful is if we're in charge. And that was the dichotomy there. They were two sides of the same coin. They were best friends. And so I thought that actually the Killmonger character is basically your Magneto for that universe, or for Wakanda.
That's fair, but you're drawing it on racial lines, not on the lines of humans and mutants. And my problem is, I agree with you. Redlining's fucked up. There are racist cops who profile people. There are all sorts of testaments of racism that still exists in this country. You can't defeat that with vibranium. You can't punch racism in the face. You can't shoot it with a gun.
I disagree.
So how are you going to beat
it out of racism?
Like, how are you going to beat racism? Not racists. Racism. Well, I don't think that you can do that.
I could think of something. Hold on.
There's plenty of ways to do so. It's called justice. Once you start replacing the system of white supremacy, is what I call it, system of white supremacy, which is racism, that's when, and replace that with the system of justice, that's when we'll start defeating racism. There is no such thing that we should be looking at certain people and in certain positions and actually decide to say, okay, I see this person as subhuman and I'm choosing to put them in a position lower than me. Once we start actually putting these people, getting them accountable for their actions, that's when we'll start defeating racism.
But you're going to need help.
Well, yeah, of course we're gonna. Of course.
No. Killmonger doesn't want help. Killmonger doesn't want help. Killmonger wants to do it himself.
I'm not saying.
Hold on, guys. Give me a sec.
I'm not saying that you're not gonna get help. We're literally talking about a real thing that happens in the real world to something that's fictional. Killmonger, again, in something fictional. Killmonger, I don't know how he was going to approach it whatsoever. We don't know. You know,
we do. They had to shoot down the planes.
Yeah, wait, hold on. We could just go by.
I don't know where the planes were going though. Where were the crafts going? But go ahead, Rab. Finish your point.
But we didn't know the whole overall arcing plan that Killmonger had, but we knew some of it. We knew that he wanted to militarize Black America. He wanted to at least have them, in a fighting chance with Black America, to America in general. So that's what I saw it as. How he was going to achieve that goal is beyond me. But again, like I said, he was for what I saw, and it might just be my perspective. For what I saw, that Killmonger was going to actually militarize Black America and have them in a fighting chance with whoever.
Why
That's
does
an
that be
idea.
black people?
I mean, I think arming anyone, arming yourself to protect yourself, to exercise your Second Amendment here in the U.S.,
and that's
that's
why
a great
I'm
thing.
that's why I'm a very strong component of the Second Amendment.
Yeah, I agree with you.
know?
I don't personally agree with arms traffickers coming into neighborhoods and saying, "Hey, you want to fight for racial equality? Here's a gun. Let's go get it from people that we don't like."
What
I
is
just don't see
racial
that. I
equality?
don't see that ending well.
What?
Well, the thing is, we have to understand that some people will come with prejudice type of means, and that's not something that we should be even looking towards as a positive message. If certain groups of people are coming together and they're forming a union based on just hating a certain group of people, then we're back to square one.
What do you call intersectionality?
I don't like it whatsoever, but intersectionality is just another play on word that liberal people just made up just so
It's a bunch of people coming together and hating on a group.
No, not at all. Intersectionality has a whole different type of meaning, but I'm not going to get into that right now. My point is when you have a certain group of people getting together and their whole unification is based on hating one certain part of group, one group, we're back to square one. So what I'm saying is replacing that systematic oppression with justice. When you see somebody getting killed unjustly because a person has a badge, they need to get punished justified.
Yeah, absolutely.
When a certain person calls the cops just because a black kid or a Latin kid is walking down the neighborhood, they should not be just saying, "Okay, here's a slap in the wrist." No, you should be punished. You shouldn't be just calling the cops out of nowhere just because a certain person you think they don't belong there. You feel what I'm saying?
I feel what you're saying 100%. I agree with you that there should be the same standards of treatment for everybody. If a cop is gonna, if a cop's gonna step over the line because it's a racial thing, that cop needs to be told, look, that was a racial thing.
Exactly.
A cop pulls a gun on somebody, shoots him, he's got to be treated. I completely agree with you.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about.
I differ for you when we talk about invading countries. That's the only time that I leave this conversation and stop disagreeing with you. I'm with you 100% in just about every other way.
But I'm not talking about I'm not talking about militarized black folks just killing white people out of nowhere. I'm not for that whatsoever either. This is something that we got to understand. This is something what I'm saying is replacing that systematic oppression with justice. That's all. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to when it comes to that type of conversation, that's what we need to have. For a long time, white America never wants to have a conversation about race. We have to be honest. We have to be honest. White America never wants to have a conversation about race. It's always ignored. It's always, well, why we gotta always talk about race? Let's talk about something else. You know what I mean? But yet, for some reason, when Karen goes out and she's part of a jury and already has those pre-negative notions about a black person, she's gonna vote guilty instead of innocent just because the person is black.
I mean, if that person that you just said exists, absolutely. But that Karen,
they definitely do exist.
Well, let's time out. That Karen, that white lady with her preconceived notions about race, who's automatically going to vote to get the white dude who did the bad thing off. That's as much of a stereotype as the angry black dude who wants to mug her in the alley. You know what I mean? So until we start dismantling these systems of stereotypes that have infested our minds and tell us who it is we're looking at before we actually know who we're looking at, then we're not going to get to justice because we're fighting straw men.
What I'm going to say is it's a lot more common for white women to actually put us in jail than angry black men mugging a white woman in the alley.
I can't run the numbers on that, bro. I would love to. I would love to agree with you or disagree with you, but I can't. I don't know the numbers.
We can run the numbers. Let's look at the judicial system. That's it. Those are numbers right there. We could even look at FBI stats of robberies based on race.
But no, because not all of those go to trial with white women on the jury. That's what I'm saying. And I'm also not. And like, if we were gonna talk about it equally in an equivalent fashion, we would have to take every incident of armed robbery or violence or anything and tabulate those FBI statistics and then weigh those statistics against each other. That's a waste of time. Honestly, I'm not trying to argue that. What I'm trying to say is that we have preconceived notions about people. You don't know if Karen is a bad lady.
You're right.
She doesn't know if that dude is a bad dude. We have what you call unconscious biases.
Yes.
So we talk about race. I'm all for it, but we got to dismantle that other stuff too, so that we can be honest about it. I want Karen to see people equally and to treat people equally.
When you talk about honesty, what do you mean by that?
About honesty, like the true human element of the conversation.
Like what?
Give me an example of what it is you want to be talking about.
You put it out there. I don't know.
We want to talk honestly. Like, if we were going to be talking about Karen and John, the black dude who's on trial, Karen doesn't know John. John doesn't know Karen. If they wanted to talk honestly, they would have to break down the barrier between them that's been put in place by whatever cultural system that has reinforced their image of the other. It's this existential philosophy called seeing the self in the eyes of the other.
And what you're just saying right now is basically white supremacy. That's basically what you're saying right now. So if we really want to, like I said before, if we really want to have this conversation, white America needs to open their doors and actually have this real conversation. For a long time, white America has not. They have ignored it. And we've been out here marching and actually screaming from the top of our lungs to talk about the racial inequality that we're having right now and the systematic oppression that we're experiencing.
Have you ever been arrested?
I've been arrested.
Have you ever been arrested? No, but like for real though.
What do you mean for real? I got arrested for fake?
No, I mean like.
Wait. So
he's got a point, Spicho.
No. I mean like.
Cops just came after me, arrested me, and they said April Fools. What?
No, I think what he means is like. Yeah. Did you go to beyond holding? Did you get processed and put in lockup?
Yes. Plenty of times. Yes.
So my man Radical Latino has a record.
What the hell you scoundrels are talking about? I'm a good boy. I never been arrested.
Wait. Okay, wait. What's your point on that?
Well, you see, a lot of people that I've met that talk like that, they never been arrested. I've been arrested a fuck ton of times.
Okay.
I've been arrested so many times you wouldn't fucking believe it.
Yeah.
And I've been arrested for some pretty bad shit.
Uh-huh.
I've hurt people when I was young. And the thing is, I fucking hated the cops when I was a kid, especially where I grew up, because I grew up in a relatively nice place where, the cops were known back in the day for if they had a problem with you, they'd take you over to one of the bridges, they hang you upside down, they say you ever fucking do it again, we're gonna drop you next time, and that's how they dealt with it, right? But here's the thing is, I hear all this fucking talk about how the cops hate this kind of person or they hate that kind of person. When the riot started, I was like, yeah, well, it's about time that the cops kind of get put in check because they're getting a little bit too out of control.
Yeah.
Right? And then I instantly hear that it's about black people. And I'm like, what the fuck? The fuck why? Oh, because they're so horrible to black people. No, they're fucking horrible to everybody. Yeah. Okay? And I sit there when the riots start, right? And I sit there watching this black lady standing up talking about how the police treat her and they wouldn't treat a black person that way. And I'm sitting there going, I have literally been treated that way. Exactly verbatim what you just said.
Yeah.
Okay?
You all remember Sublime? The song?
No, I don't remember listening to the lyrics. But look, so the thing is though, you say it's about equality and racial justice, and it's not about any of that. It's about good people and bad people and rich people and poor people. And you know what the rich people want? You know what the rich people want more than anything? They want people like you fighting with people like me, because as long as we're fighting with each other,
We're
the
not
rich
fighting them.
people, we're not fighting the rich people. So you're sitting here, and I have a lot of respect because you must really care
Why
about
should we
what
be
you're
fighting
talking
rich
about.
people?
No.
What's all this? What's
I'm
all
not
this?
saying.
What's all
Look,
this
I'm not
radical
saying we
stuff?
should be. Whoa! I never said anything
Uh-oh.
about fighting rich people.
Let him finish
Robert's
his
What I
point.
gonna
am
have
saying
to
is,
turn on
we're
later
not.
on, yo.
We're not even. I'm
Robert's
going as
got
far
to
as not
take
even
later
fucking
on.
paying
It's
attention.
funny.
No, because I'm talking about not
No,
even
but
paying
some
attention.
people want to watch the world burn, but some people want to, raise
No,
families
let him
and
finish his
No.
point. Let him finish his point, please.
send
I
their
want to hear
kids to
his point.
school and watch them get married and see them graduate. I think
Robert, that's not the rich he's talking about. That's not the rich he's talking about.
Thank
I'm
you.
not saying I'm rich. I'm
Thank
saying like why would we want to
No.
see the rich people
I never said
lose everything?
no. I didn't
Can he
say I
finish
want to
his
see the
point?
rich people lose
Just
anything.
finish your,
I'm talking
please,
about
finish your point. Finish your point,
bad
please.
people being able to do bad things because nobody's paying attention. Okay, because I'm not even going to, I'm going to be honest that yeah, there is a side of my family that's really fucking rich. I'm not part of that side. Okay, I'm not. Like literally, like my uncle, multimillionaire doctor. His brother,
Wow.
because we live in the United States and the United States works the way it does, and white privilege is a fucking lie. They both grew up in good circumstances. My uncle is a multimillionaire doctor. My dad lives in a fucking apartment that looks like a homeless
That's
camp.
also not the rich people you're talking about. The rich people
No.
you're talking about are Klaus Schwab and Jamie Dimon
Is the
and,
1%?
Yes.
I
and
am
international
talking about that
banking
as well.
consortiums.
Listen. I
Yes.
get it. You're talking about the 1% that literally go to IY shop parties and have like sexy
Well,
time.
The
with
World Economic
Russian,
Forum.
I'm not even talking.
Just point it there.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about
I get it.
I want to go to them
really,
parties, yo.
there's really rich people, but there's also really rich people that are
I
bad.
understand the rich people that be shitting out gold and pissing out perfume. I get it. I understand that the ones that be wearing the black robes and one time they have to bring in a virgin to sacrifice, and now you get to wear the go head. I get it. I understand. Those are the ones that I get it. Now,
No, here's the other
finish your
thing.
point.
I'm
Finish your point.
Jewish. I'm Jewish,
Uh-huh.
right? And so you know what? I'm gonna be completely straight with you. When I was growing up, you couldn't say bad shit about black people. Oh, because that's a sore topic. Oh, but I'm white and I'm Jewish, so they could say whatever the fuck they wanted to me. And I literally, like, my best friend at the time, right around that time, he found out that I was Jewish, and he found out that he was popular, and because he liked telling jokes and making people laugh, and racist jokes were funny, and he's not even fucking American. He's goddamn Canadian.
Yeah.
Right, in the United States, right?
Damn Canadians.
And so my point is, though, it's some kind of systemic, American thing. He's fucking Canadian, right?
Yeah.
So apparently it's not a systemic American thing. No. And then it got so fucking bad that I am on the daily hearing people walk past me in fucking passing period, be like, "Hey, what's the difference between a pizza and a Jew? Oh, one doesn't scream when you put it in the oven, and then all this sheeny shit, kike shit, all the time, right? No. So it's something about the fucking color of my skin. My color of my skin doesn't fucking matter, because at the end of the day, I've seen when I worked for the state of California, I've seen Mexicans do bad things to other Mexicans. I've seen Mexicans help out white people to help them promote.
Right.
I've seen black people help white. You know what? I had a black person sign me up for the most difficult class that you could take as a Caltrans worker without even fucking telling me, because he thought I had the potential. And then I proved him right in the eyes of his bosses, who were like the highest bosses in the fucking district, by getting the highest grade in that class. So black people do good things for white people do good things, and then they do bad things too. And it's got nothing to do with the race. And if anything, you know what it has to do with? Fucking culture. Because there is a Hispanic culture, and then there's kind of a white culture, and there's kind of a black culture, but then there's mixes too, because I know white people who were raised in this white, quote unquote, white culture, and then they get into the drug culture, or they get into the racing culture, or they get in this culture or that culture, the other culture, and then they're a person that their parents can't even fucking distinguish anymore, and they're completely different. So culture, I think, has a lot to do with it. But what people do is they put the skin color on the culture, and the culture and the skin color are different.
Can I
Hold on, Rad's got a rebuttal. Go ahead, Rad.
Can I answer some of your points?
Yeah.
Okay. Before I say anything, are you a white guy?
Yeah.
Okay, so
white
you
Jewish.
so okay, all right. Cool. Well, Jewish is not a race. That's your
No,
religion.
but
So
I am.
so
That's
okay, so
not
you're
true, actually.
Yes, it
no,
is.
it's
No,
It's
true.
not.
I could
technically,
Yeah, the Semites.
I could
They're
turn
called, they're called the
I've always said
I
Semites.
that
could
too.
turn Jewish right
I
now.
actually,
So
I
let's
actually
stop.
always believed
So
that too. I
John,
Can you
always
turn
believed
from
that,
Can you become?
and then I
Can you
found
get
out
that level
recently
on
okay,
going?
there is
so
actually
can't do it.
genetic
you're white.
element
All
to
right,
it
cool.
now.
Wait a
Okay.
second. No, wait, no. Okay. Wait a second. The Semites are the Semites, all right?
Yeah,
They're like, just look
Yeah,
it
all
up. Like,
right.
oh wow, that's where that
Yeah,
goes.
if
yeah.
that
There's
was
a, it's like
Yo, if it was
Anastasia,
true, the Jews could have
listen,
just been like, "Oh, we're Christian now, Hitler. I'm sorry, you can't hurt us."
listen,
No,
listen,
Come
listen,
on.
if you do
listen,
the,
listen,
We swear.
I think that the.
If
I'm
that was
sorry.
the case, Jews would have never be wearing stars because they know that they could blend in with whiteness. So let's cut the bullshit. Now,
Well, no, they
Let me.
there's a
All right,
unique
all right,
culture there. They have their own country
which one
going back
is it?
2,000
Which
years.
one is it? Anyway, so
Nationality, religion, and race. All three.
now that we established that one thing, I don't see you as something bad. I don't see white folks like that. I've always said there's white supremacists and non-racist white people. That's it. It's either between of that, either between. That's it. Now, this is a thing. The fact that you even said there's no such thing as white privilege. There's plenty of examples
no,
of
it's
white
rich
privilege.
privilege. It's rich privilege.
No.
Rich
There's
privilege.
listen.
No, because
There's
if
a
you don't
lot of
have the, if you don't have
there's a
money,
lot
you
of
have no fucking
examples. Let me
privilege
speak.
anymore.
Let me speak. There's a lot of examples of white privilege happening
Like what?
literally on a daily.
Give me one.
Even
right now.
even when it comes to rich or non-rich.
No, give me one.
For example, Brock Turner. Brock Turner
I don't know who
raped
that is.
somebody.
I don't know who that is.
Well, you can look it up. Brock Turner raped somebody, and he literally got a slap on the wrist. There was another college dude that raped another girl, got caught doing it on video, slapping the wrist because he was part of a fraternity. Oh my God, that's insane, right? So we have situations of white folks actually getting benefits from being white. Even there's been a study of black college graduates not getting jobs that white high school dropouts got. So when we actually come to that type of what, there's no such thing as white privilege. To me, that really tells me that you are aware of it, but you're just ashamed that you're getting a benefit that you don't deserve.
Maybe you put too much on that degree.
No,
maybe
there are other
maybe that
examples.
guy went through that school, got that degree,
No, there are
and
other
still
examples.
sucked ass. Well, then give me another example.
There's
I can
plenty
give
of
you
examples.
military examples. There are black generals. Do you think? Well, this is recorded already. Back in the day, when blacks first got into the officer ranks, do you think they were respected as their white colleagues? The answer is no.
No, I
So
don't.
of course not.
So
there was a black 4-star general that was his name is Daniel Chappie James. He's the first black 4-star general in any of the armed forces. And do you think he was respected as his peers, his white peers? There were colonels.
But those inequities were.
Yeah, but you know what?
I know over time those inequities were remedied. If we talk about now, what are examples of white privilege now? Now, for me, I've been involved in levels of the corporate, corporate workplace and stuff like that. So I have seen examples of whole resumes with names like DeAndre Thomas and fucking Devontae Jackson get tossed in the trash after the applicant leaves. I have seen that kind of thing.
Exactly.
I'm saying examples like that must be brought up. Not something like with the military in the past, because that stuff's been remedied.
It hasn't.
You don't think it has?
No.
My thing.
You know what? Let's look at it like this though, because
wait. I just want to make a point. I want to make a point real quick.
Okay.
My thing is, when we try to have conversations like this is not trying to make white folks feel bad or whatever the case is. That type of mentality, talking about there's no such thing as white privilege, that type of mentality is dangerous. Believe it
Well,
or
I
not.
think there's white privilege. I think there's white privilege, but
And
then I
when
think
we're
that
talking,
there's
and when we
black
talk about,
privilege
and
and
when we talk
Mexican
about,
privilege and gay
no,
privilege and
no,
Asian
there's
privilege.
It's not the
No,
same
no,
thing.
no, there's
they're
not.
not the
It's not
Last
the
same
time
thing.
same
They're
I,
all
thing.
different kinds of
last
things.
time I checked,
No, it's not the same thing.
Eric
Different
Garner's
kind.
privilege
No, it's
didn't
not the
stop him
same
from
thing.
dying.
No.
Last time I checked, Tamir's Wright's privilege didn't stop him from getting shot up. Last time I checked, Breonna Taylor's privilege didn't stop her from getting shot up by the cops. So please let me know what type of privilege. What, because black people could say the N-word? That's the privilege? Come on now.
No, he's committing a fallacy here. Just because there is some privilege, that doesn't mean all privileges are equal. So yes, there could be Mexican privilege,
You're
but
right.
it's not equal to your white privilege.
The only Mexican privilege that I see is that they could actually stand.
Oh, but,
You know what I'm
see,
saying?
the way I
That's
see
basically
it.
It doesn't
No,
burn.
but here's the thing:
You know
is
what I
the
mean?
way I'm gonna be honest. I know a lot of lazy fucking white people. A lot of them.
It's not
You
that
and
they
you don't.
don't
No, no,
exist.
no, no,
Dude, you
no, no,
don't
no,
think.
no, no,
Can I
no,
interject
You don't
here?
think I know?
Hey guys,
Dude,
can
not even
I
that.
bust
Dude.
in here for a second?
Look,
My
Dude,
family
wait,
came here in the
dude,
I
1900s.
say
you
one
don't
We're
word.
all
I
from
say one
Sicily.
word.
Wait.
I say
And
no,
yeah,
no.
we were
Hold on,
discriminated
wait.
against.
You
You know
don't
what they
think?
did?
Let's slow it down. Let's slow it way down.
A bond.
Let Robert Romano
All right,
speak.
my fault.
My family
Go
is my family are immigrants. They came to this country over 100 years ago. My grandmother Flavia, she came on in USS Europa in 1917, 1918, and they were poor. And everyone who was fleeing Sicily, and my whole family ancestors, they all come from Sicily. They were fleeing abject poverty. They were very fortunate to be able to come here, and they didn't have much when they got here. And they worked for what they got here. About half of the Italians who fled that exodus. A lot of them went to Argentina, but half of the people who immigrated, they went back to Italy because there weren't any jobs here either. And there was a lot of struggles there for a couple of generations. My father's side, they did a little bit better. And I think my grandmother, she ended up owning a building in her neighborhood in Brooklyn. They weren't born with it. There was no privilege for it. The story was that they came in, they were poor, they worked hard, they saved their money, and then they someday they were able to actually pass on something to their children. And my grandmother, she had she got to see many great grandchildren. They raised great families, and I think that's the story. For me, that's the story of America. It's not about race. It's about hard work. It's about family. Mostly it's about family to me. I think America's been very good to a lot of people. We're all very fortunate to live in this country because there's a lot worse countries. I'd rather be here right now. And I was born with a house. I went out and got a degree, and then I went and I married my college sweetheart, and then I got some kids. But I had to work for all that.
Let me
It's
ask
a privilege.
Let me ask you then. So if it's not about race in this country, why were there laws just to benefit white folks?
There were laws that didn't benefit Italians during World War II, or Germans, or Japanese.
Don't dance. Do not dance.
Wait,
I said something very specific.
Segregation? Why was there segregation?
Words.
Let's tell the story of America now. We're going to go through history now. My family wasn't here for it, but I'm privileged for it, I suppose.
Let's not dance. Were
Italians discriminated against when they came into this country? Were they not?
I'm gonna give you a history lesson right now. Before I do, please answer this. If this country was not based on race, please show me a law that benefited black folks and discriminated white folks.
There wouldn't have been.
Thank you very much. So basically you just proved
the 13th Amendment. How about the 13th Amendment? There's a law that benefited black people who were enslaved. Wait, what about the 13th Amendment? What about the 14th Amendment? What about the Civil Rights Act?
Wait, hold on.
I am not oblivious.
Sir, hold on. I am not oblivious of the tragedies that the Italians and Irish.
Hold on. Take turns, guys. Don't talk over each other.
I am not.
Guys, hold on. I am not oblivious. I am not oblivious
of the tragedies that Italian and Irish people face. I am not oblivious about that. There's plenty of evidence, historical
evidence. Are we privileged
evidence.
now?
Wait, hold on. There's plenty of historical evidence that even shows that Italians and Irish people were even made fun of and depicted all crazy. Even Italian people
Oh
got hanged in
shit!
Louis. Italian people got hanged in Louisiana. This is the thing that separates Italian and Irish from this whole race topic thing that basically doesn't even prove your point. When Italian people got hung, Italy almost went to war with the United States to the point where they had to give reparations to those families. Now, later on, Italians and
I didn't get
Irish
shit.
people,
We didn't get no fucking reparation. What are you fucking?
Italians
We were
and
poor,
Irish
remember?
Italians and Irish people then later on got the privilege to mark down whites. And now they're in that white status ever since then. And for some reason, them same Italians and Irish were the overseers of slaves. So again, if you said that this country is not based on race,
My
it's based on
family
class
came
and
here
all
in
this other stuff,
1900,
then
and
please show
slavery
me.
was already abolished.
Then
It's
please
about
show me.
wanting things. It's about wanting things or not, or haves and have nots. Look, I have a friend that's not my friend anymore. Well, I had a friend because during this COVID thing and during the riots, we got into a huge fight. And I've known this guy for like a decade. And now here's the thing about this guy. He sits there and he smokes weed all day long. He talks about how his back won't hurt. It may have about how his back hurts so bad he can't work. Except I've watched the guy go pick up a refrigerator and move it from 25 miles from where he picked it up to somewhere else in the back of his pickup truck for $10. So I think he really just doesn't want to work. But here's the thing. So he's like almost 40 years old now. Doesn't have a job. Hasn't had a job in like 12 years. And the reason why I've always been friends with this guy was because you know what, he was a good person. Whenever I needed him, when there was something wrong, he would always be there to come pick me up when my bicycle like got broken or something like that when I'm riding and I'm 12 miles away, 20 miles away from my house. But the thing is, he really is fucking lazy. He sits in his garage all day long and he just smokes weed, and he lives with his mom who makes like I think 30,000, 40, maybe $40,000 a year, and she's an illegal immigrant, and she's been here for like 40 years. As a matter of fact, my friend actually shouldn't be alive because his mom already had her tubes tied, and somehow she had him anyway, like almost 20 years after his next youngest brother. So his next youngest brother's like 58 or something like that, and we were having this argument and going
That's
back
that
and
super
forth.
sperm, bro.
Yeah, so shit.
That's that
And
super sperm.
we're having this argument and we're going back and forth, and he turned to me and said, nobody makes it in this world unless they get a lot of help. And I turned to him and I said, you know what? That's fucking disrespectful to your own mom. Because you know what? Your mom struggled and came here, crossed the desert, crossed the border, made it into this country. She still doesn't even speak English 40 years later. And you know, I don't give a shit. I don't care at all. Like, I'm not like one of those, oh, you speak the goddamn language. I don't care. Like, I respect what she did. And then she raised those two kids, right? And it was hard because I know they got arrested and all this other shit went on, right? But then here he is, not putting in any money to the household, right? And not doing anything. And she's paying for his living. And he says nobody makes it in life. And I said, what about your mom? And she said, well, she got helped because women's rights, and they were forcing women, companies to hire women. And I said, yeah, just because they were forcing companies to hire women doesn't mean that your mom was just going to get a job because they called her up and said, we're giving you a job. She had to go get the job and do the job and be good at the job. And his mom is actually a machinist. She's a 70 years old little Mexican lady who's a machinist making aircraft parts. Like, a fucking incredible person, actually. I know something about machining, and that's not little shit. And so she has struggled and she has fought throughout her life to give my friend the best life he can. Such a good life that he doesn't have to do anything except sit on a fucking couch, watch TV, and smoke weed all day long. He doesn't have to think about anything. And I say to him, God forbid your mom dies. What are you going to do with yourself? But you know what? He turns to me And he tries to say, oh, it's this black privilege. Oh, everything you've ever known in life, and it's okay, you wouldn't understand because the way you were raised, it's racist. And your grandfather fought World War II for a racist country, and it's all just indoctrination. I say, how fucking dare you? Because your very mom struggled and fought, and you don't do a goddamn thing, and you say it's everybody else's fault. At some point, you gotta push, and you gotta like make the effort, and you gotta struggle, and it's gonna be hard. And you know what, there's a lot of college kids out there who should never have fucking gone to college, but their parents told them to, of all ages and whatnot. And then there's a lot of traits. My brother went to school to become
Welcome to the wonderful world of debt.
yeah my brother
That's
went
us all, man. We're all in it together.
My brother went to 2 years of aircraft mechanic school. Okay, he spent a total of $3,000 on schooling. $3,000 on school. He spent more on fucking tools than he did to school. Okay, and now he works for FedEx. And in the job that he works at FedEx, now he had to be good in order to get in, because FedEx is like the top of the top of the top of being an aircraft mechanic. He's going to top out at his basic low end job at $75 an hour.
Congratulations, Dan. That's great.
But the thing is this, is that there's a lot of people that go to this college because they're promised that job when they come out. And they think that just having that degree, all I have to do is go to school, go to college, get that degree, and then as soon as I get that degree, degree profit. But that's not how it works. The degree isn't a promise of profit, it's the opportunity for it, but you still have to be good at what you do. And I think a lot of college kids went to school because their parents told them to. They said, here kid, this is the course, this is what you do. But supply and demand, and if everybody wants to go be a fucking programmer, there's going to be a shit ton of programmers, and if you're not the best at being a programmer, then you're not going to get picked and you're not going to get the good jobs. And that's how it works. College degrees don't equal money. College degrees equal opportunity to get money. Okay, but
there's caveats to that, because depending on the degree and depending on the school can hook you up with job opportunities, which you wouldn't have had you not gone to that college, right? So if you graduate Johns Hopkins University, which is one of the top medical schools in the world, they're probably going to give you some opportunities.
Yeah, but you also made it into one of the top medical schools in the world in the first place.
But I'm saying, if you went to like Queens CUNY Medical School, you're probably not going to get those same opportunities. So there are opportunities because you're at the right place at the right time, and you also have to put in there that everybody doesn't go to college that is paying for college. Some people
didn't need to
get scholarships,
but some people shouldn't have to. Like I said, like with my brother. My brother didn't have to go to college, and I think there's a lot of people that don't have to go to college. Electricians make a shit ton of money.
Yeah, but you say
plumbers make
a
shit ton of money. Oh yeah, $3,000.
Not everybody's paying money. There's a lot of people who go to medical school that don't pay money at all. They just got the privilege.
We need more doctors. There's a reason why that is. The way the scholarships are set up for medical school, for example, there's a massive shortage of healthcare workers, especially with the baby boom going on right now. My wife works, she's a social worker. Her family, they're also immigrants. They came from Moldova. After the Soviet Union fell, they moved to Israel, and then they won the lottery and they were able to move to America. And they didn't have shit either. Her father, he's in his 60s now, and he's still building staircases. And her mother, she works at a floral shop. But she's not doing, she's getting sick now, so I don't know if she can still do that now. But they struggled. Boy, did they struggle.
Well, I get it.
But I am talking about the
great Jewish family.
I am talking about the ones with the.
But they're not privileged. They got everything they have. They made it for themselves.
Privilege is being
used in more than
context here. Privilege doesn't mean you're rich. Privilege means you have an opportunity that other people are not able to have, and not necessarily.
They're lucky. I mean, you could say they're privileged, to have won the visa lottery to get to America, but they're privileged as hell to come to America. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's better here than it is in Israel from their perspective.
Yeah, but other people did not have that same opportunity. So the privilege is you had the opportunity.
Not everyone can win the lottery.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but that
Well,
doesn't
but
mean
then,
that
dude,
everyone who, by virtue of their color, is privileged.
the people who get to go to college for free on any scale, it's a very small portion,
No, it
very
isn't.
small
Oh no, it
portion of the
isn't.
people
Oh
who
no, it
actually
isn't.
go to college.
No, it isn't.
Can I say something real quick?
You gotta be kidding me.
Who was the one that said the story about the lazy friend smoking weed, mom?
Spica.
Yeah,
Okay, all right, okay. See, the thing is when me myself or anybody else talks about these systematic oppressions and racism and blah 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 blah. We're not talking about them type of people who are lazy, who just want to say "woe is me" and just blame everybody.
but who's
No,
who?
that's not who we're even talking. They shouldn't even be part of the
No,
conversation.
but who's who? How do I know? See, I don't know you, so I don't know the way you live. And so, for all I know, you're just like him. I'm not saying you are.
Yeah.
Look, let's be honest. I'm not saying you are,
No, no, no. Of course, of course.
right? But I don't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
And the
again,
thing is that
that has nothing to do with my point. What I'm trying to say is, for a lot of times, people want to discredit. When we talk about systematic oppressions and replacing it with with a system of justice, they want to discredit it by saying, "Well, I have a friend, and I have an aunt, and I have an uncle who just stays in a hammock all day, just smokes weed, and they don't get." You know what I mean? So people, I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm just saying
no,
usually
no.
those are the same talking points, and they discredit it by saying, well, people who talk about race, they're just they just lazy and they want a handout. Nobody's asking for a handout.
No, I'm not
We
saying they
just want
all. No,
justice and equal treatment. That's all I'm saying.
right. But
So
my
usually that is the talking point, and
oh yeah, no, no.
I just wanted to just bring that up. That's all.
I understand what you're saying. And no, it was a particular example because from my point of view, it's I don't in my personal life run into too many of these radical people like him, like my friend who I now no longer talk to because everybody like my father and I would go eat with him. Dude, I would give this guy when I was working for the state because he was always there, and always on deck when I needed him, and he was a good friend, and I know that he never had any money, so if he had to drive me down to if sometimes I'd have him drive me down to the bank because I hate fucking driving because that's all I did all day long, and dude, okay, it's 5 miles here, here's $20 for gas. Oh, you want to? Then after that, hey, you want to go grab some food? I'll buy. And I never said nothing. I never said nothing. I never.
All
Yeah.
listen.
But the thing is that I
Yeah.
know my dad and I would go eat with him, and he'd just be sitting there talking about how he can't get a job because of reason X, Y, and Z, and every time he tries. But the thing is, he's fucking mopey, and he had a bad attitude about things, so you
Well,
wouldn't
yeah,
want
yeah,
to
yeah.
hire him.
When you have
I think
that
that all
negative,
of us on this panel are conservative.
no,
Uh,
well,
right?
yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah,
conservative myself.
yeah.
Um,
The go get 'em, you know, ethos is something that we have strong beliefs on. I think each and every one of us here.
now
So,
I want to just say one
I'm sorry,
thing.
yeah.
I want to say one thing that Brotep can actually vouch for. Um, I've said this story plenty of times, and I'm gonna say it one more time for the people that don't know it. I used to own a gym for 6 years. It was a franchise gym, 24-hour fitness. I used to own it. And in order to acquire such franchise, I decided to go get a loan. And Brotep knows this story. I don't know if he remembers it. But
Good.
did I not get the nod for the loan and I had to hook up with a white business partner and then I got accepted? Did I not?
Yeah, similar stuff happened to me as well.
So
I think it's possible
we
that
talk
two
about
things can be right at the same time too. Like
so
it
when
can't.
no,
One thing does not
I get
exclude
what
the
you're
other. But
saying.
all right, go.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But
Yeah,
when we talk about, oh, what was me, and oh, you just
yeah. That's not.
complaining about
Yeah,
everything. The thing is, there's people with legitimate complaints. I could have simply just said, okay, you denied me. Let me go to another bank. Oh, they denied me too. Oh, let me go to another bank. Oh, they denied me too. And then I just go to a friend and say, well, they keep on denying me. Whoa, why don't you just pull yourself up from your bootstraps? That doesn't make any sense.
No.
You
That
see
I
what I'm saying?
understand.
That
I
doesn't
do.
make any sense. So
You're right.
that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the people that don't want to work with. That's they're gonna do them. Let them do them. That's not who I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
they don't get nowhere, man.
I do think that
I'm
that's just
Most
speaking.
people
to do
I'm
don't
with
get
culture
nowhere.
I'm speaking on
because
specific things that actually happen. Now, for an example, in my situation, the reason why I got denied a loan was, check this out. I didn't have enough credit. Last time I checked, I thought 730 was good. Last time I checked. So to that bank, I didn't have enough credit. When I hooked up with my white business partner, that he actually showed that he's actually loaning me a certain amount and he needs the loan, which we actually had to make an LLC together to legitimize the business. They said, "Oh, okay, let's check your credit. You're fine." Guess what his credit is?
But here's
And
the thing, and
and
you
you
know,
know,
actually,
wait a
that's
minute.
really good. That's really good, and I actually really appreciate that a lot because what I want to say right here is this: is that you're right, and then if that bank did this because of race, and then you had to go get your white friend to fucking pull out the loan and then loan it to you, like that's fucked up. But at the same time, your
It's
white
illegal.
friend. No, but at the same time, your white friend did that for you, right? Because you guys had each other's backs and you guys were a coherent force for
Sorry,
good, right?
I pressed the wrong button. So
But
sorry.
but you're a coherent force, right? You and your white friend that was like, well, fuck this shit. Then I'm gonna go pull the money out. And then I'm gonna give it to you if they won't give it to you, right? Like he shouldn't have had to help you, but he did. Now I'm gonna say my only concern is this: is that what's going on in the world right now is dividing the races. It is. It's making white people walk down the street and be afraid of black people. It's making black people walk down the street and be angry at white people, right? And you will start running into
But
an
who's
incident,
now?
no, but you'll start running
Let
into
me
an
ask you,
instance where
whose
where
fault is
people
that?
who well whoever's fault it is, it's not my fault. I didn't do it. Your friend didn't do it, but your friend is gonna will suffer for it, right? Like people who didn't do anything wrong are gonna get caught up
Well,
in the
I
net,
no,
and they
I
will
could
That's
suffer
true. What
actually
too.
good is
no.
coming of it? What laws have changed? What
I could
justice has
actually
come from the riots?
I could actually point out and say that it's white supremacy's fault. I can say that
But it's not. But
because
your friend is obviously not a
the
white
reason,
supremacist.
of course not, and I never said all white folks
No, no,
are white
no. Of course,
supremacists.
but there are people out there. I'm not saying you. But why it's really important to have these conversations, right? Like I'm just saying, and like why I made the comment about my friend first and saying these things is they have to be said so that we would be on the same page about things. And the
Yeah.
fact that you own a 24-hour fitness right there on itself, did you? I fucking get. I don't care what color you are. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what geographic region. I don't care what color your fucking hair is. Bro, you did that shit and you had a franchise. Dude, that's legit. And like
That's
it takes
beast.
a that's
Mhm.
beast as fuck, right? So like, all right, we're already on the same page. Now that being said, you don't feel that all white people are white
No,
supremacists, but
no,
there are
no, I
people, but
don't.
they're out there in the world right this instant. There are people preaching the message that all white people are privileged, whether they know it or not. They're teaching it to children in classrooms with a CRT. That they're forcing children to to either look at themselves as an oppressor or an oppressed, and they're too young to be anything except fucking children, you know, and so the problem is that look, I agree that we should all be colorblind. Like we shouldn't be having race discussions because it shouldn't fucking matter. Like
You're right.
when I grew up I grew up in a Jewish atmosphere. Okay, look, there at my temple there's a gay black Jewish guy who's one of the nicest people I ever met, and every time I go there, we end up having these long conversations about bicycles, and he works for Google as a programmer. Like this guy is incredible. And then at the same fucking table, there's this white asshole
Yeah.
who bitches. He's always talking about how he's always right, and oh, I make $250,000 a year, and I graduated from Carnegie Mellon, and he embarrasses his wife. Nobody likes him, and he's a sad, fucking, pathetic person.
And
So,
this is
color,
exactly
and
and this is
I don't look at his color of his
this is
skin. I look
exactly
at
my this
his
is
attitude.
exactly this is exactly my point. white America does not want to have this type of conversation, which we should.
The one that we're having now.
Yes,
yeah, you guys are having it now. So that's good.
You just admitted that
That's a supposition, though.
You just admitted that CRT is making white folks look some type of way and making them feel bad. Exactly. You know why? Because it's accusatory.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's accusatory, and it's putting your ancestors and the privilege that you hold in your face, and you don't like that. I get it. You don't like that. It's a bitter.
But how can you lump all of the white people together? What's white America? Define white America.
Hold on.
What the census says is white.
It's a bitter pill to swallow when you know the privilege that you hold that you don't like to accept.
Well, what privilege do I have? What privilege do I have? No, but
fill out white on the census.
Look at skin. You got a mirror next to you.
But what about
white America? It doesn't make sense.
What about Oprah Winfrey and Shaquille O'Neal and Samuel L. Jackson compared to me? Not compared to other.
Oh, wait. Here's the difference. Here's the difference. They were picked tokens that were qualified. What's your point?
Do you think that? Do you think if you said that to them, do you think that they would agree with you on that?
I could care less what they agree with.
What I'm saying is like, do you feel that every struggle in their life amounted to nothing and being picked is what all that matters?
Why did they have to struggle?
Because everyone has to struggle if you want to succeed.
That's not true.
You don't think that they have to struggle a little bit harder?
Royalty doesn't have to struggle. They're born into it.
Wait, hold on. Do you not think that they have to struggle a little bit harder?
20, 30 years ago? I'd say yeah. You know what? I'd say yeah.
So when did racism end?
But race doesn't define every person's life.
I know,
I'm sorry.
right.
You're talking about a country with 300
you said 20.
Wait, you said 20. Defining things for every single person. Not even every single.
You said 20.
Not even 20. No.
You said
maybe
20,
like
30 years ago.
Hold on, guys.
Last time I checked, they literally called the cops on Oprah up in Paris because they thought that she stole the bag. Last time I checked. So again,
but hold on.
It was France.
Hold on, Robert. Robert Romano had an interjection. Go ahead, Rob.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I don't agree with I believe in equality. Number one, I do believe in the Constitution, and the story about the redlining you tell, that's illegal. Like that definitely violates federal law. I worked in a public policy organization. And, the Congress will convince themselves they defeated redlining like 30 years ago or even 50 years ago with all the various changes to financial laws and regulations that have been put into place. And then when it comes around to enforcing that stuff, it's a fucking shit show because you've got hundreds of thousands of local bank entities. And the federal regulators are only able to really scratch the surface. And so you have targeted enforcement actions and all sorts of problems that arise from that from just the complexity of governing such a large amount of wealth distribution and loan giving and that sort of thing. But that's definitely illegal. So I hope you reported those people.
Well, the thing is about redlining and actually getting a home, and racism when it comes to that. Now it's so under the table, you could literally deny anybody for just saying, "Oh, you don't got enough credit. You don't make enough," and they could just go on that basis and not say it's race related. So let's really keep it real. Because I've seen it happen.
Well, the problem is
white people get denied loans too.
Hold on, everyone pause for a second. I respect that everyone's having a spirited discussion, but let's not forget why we came here. Greg Levitre just left, and I didn't get a chance to promote his. Hold on, I mean we can continue it. Give me a second. Let me just plug Greg's work right here, because his book is collecting the signatures, and I don't know when he's going to launch, but here's some of the art. Anyone who's here, I need you to go, especially if you're into comics. I know you are, hence you're on this channel. Well, one second, everyone. Wait, I'm sorry. God?
I said that's hard. That's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, freaking beast. I was looking for the other Franken tanks that he had on because I'm a Discord virgin, man. I don't know how to navigate through that stuff, and I saw a bunch of these Frankentanks, and I wanted to ask them, if those are cleared to show, or if that would be spoiler territory. But definitely, we do want for everyone here to go check out Gun Demon. Hold on one second, please. Gun Demon, #1, Devil's Overture. That's where they're collecting. Go ahead and put your email so that you can get updated as per the development of the book and when they drop the book. All right, sign up and back for a rare trading card. So they also have rare trading cards here. By signing up, you will also receive the latest updates and news from the campaign. An action-packed, superpowered throwdown. Born in the spawning pools of planet Hell, flesh torn and shredded in boss Gazuras Gazuras Garuzarogs.
Sound it out, bro. It's okay. Sound
Right?
it out.
When
Sound
in
it
doubt,
out.
sound it out. Garuzarog. Born in the spawning pools of planet Hell, flesh torn and shredded in boss Garuzarog's training pits, only 3 of 100 survived to be sent to Earth to raise hell. One of 3 found joy and became something more than a weapon. And this is right here. I have no idea how to expand this to fill the whole screen, but you guys should see this. Let me see if I go plus here. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
No, it looks great.
It's freaking beast, dude.
Yep.
That's
Hell on
hard.
Earth has
That's
never been
hard,
this
dude.
fun. Yeah, it's fucking Hell on Earth has never been this fun. Perks include a collectible trading card game. So you get a trading card game with this. Custom deck. I think the custom deck will be like 3D work. They haven't cleared me to show the pieces yet, but once they do, I'll show the 3D pieces. Actual figurines and stuff. Stylish apparel. 2 variant covers and an original poster print. I hope one of these is an original poster print because this is sick. All right, so just wanted to say that because Greg had left, and I wanted to interrupt you guys, but your discussion was so spirited, I couldn't find a way in, like the jump rope, but go ahead and continue.
Well, the only thing that I'm gonna say, because I'm gonna have to actually dip out. It's been a good discussion. I wish we should have more discussions like this.
Yeah.
I really do wish that we actually white society opens their doors so we can actually have real discussions, because literally historically white folks don't want to have a discussion about race, about something real. It's always ignored. It's always gaslit, and it's always flipped on its head and say Black lives don't matter, all lives matter. You know what I mean? With that being said, I am not a liberal whatsoever. Nor am I a conservative. I'm pretty neutral. I'm pretty in the middle, but I hold a little bit more conservative views. To be completely honest, I do hold a little bit more conservative views. But that's the only thing I'm gonna say. Before I go, that's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I will say, in so many ways, I deeply disagree with you, but I have the deepest respect for the fact that we are able to sit here and have this conversation.
Yeah.
And that I am able to say things which you stop and say, you're right, but how about this? And I hope that I've in turn been able to do that.
We didn't have to name call. We didn't have to do nothing.
Right.
And we were having a respectful conversation.
Yeah.
And that's how it should go. That's how it should go. And if anybody,
that's what America's all about.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. If anybody takes anything away, take that. Let's have respectful, real conversations without getting emotional about everything, and let's talk it out. That's all it is.
100%.
So with that being said, thank you everybody. Brotep, thank you very much for having me. Everybody, thank you very much for having this dialogue. I wish I could continue, but unfortunately I gotta go. It's really late right now. But thank you very much.
Problem.
Hopefully we're able to have this conversation a little bit more in the future.
Cool, man.
All right, peace.